Fall decorating continues today on my channel. Hey, it's Becca. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've happened to join me over the last couple of weeks for my fall decorating series. Last week, I decorated our fall family tree. If you missed that video or would like to take a look at how it all came together, I've linked that video at the end of this one. Today, we're going to hang out in our sunroom, which is right here off of our kitchen. Admittedly, this is my favorite room in the house only because of the amount of natural light that just spills in here. So per usual, I'm just going to flip the camera around and show you what we're working with. Here we are, a boring blank slate, ready to be fallified. What I like about this little space off of our kitchen is that sometimes it's our sitting/sunroom, and then sometimes it's our breakfast room, which is exactly what it's looking like now. So let me show you what it looked like for summer. Here you can see it was more of a sitting area with the love seat and matching accent chairs. Now, here you can see I pulled this table and the spindleback chairs over from our kitchen, and then I added the white crossback chairs, and then just to keep it casual, I added the bench. And that's exactly the look I'm going for in here. Nothing fancy, just a very casual fall look with lots of color. I thought we would decorate the buffet first, which this piece is from IKEA a few years ago. It was black when we bought it, and eventually it met my paintbrush, as did the baskets, which are also from IKEA. The first thing I want to do is add a bit of color to the top, and I'm going to be using this really pretty table runner. I don't know if you can see it kind of glistening in the light. I know I want to go casual in this room, but having one little piece of bling is always fun. So we're also just gonna pretend like it's not wrinkled from being stored all year. Let me see, I need to move it down. And move the lamps. All right, that's the first thing. With the runner in place, now it's time to add accessories. And when I do that, I like to start in the middle and work my way out. First thing is this beautiful wood pedestal from Amy at the Refined Farmhouse. And then, because to me, fall means lots of comfort food, soup or chili, I'm gonna place a soup tureen right on top. Next, I'm going to add this little arrangement that I made. I'll show you exactly how I made it when I add the one on this side. First thing, just have a little vessel. I found this at Walmart and I will link it below. And then I just have various stems. I only had 2 of these, so I needed one for over here. So I place that right in the middle. And then I have 2 of these, which sometimes I have to fold the end up just to get the height that I need. And then I have these really cute pear stems. Again, also folding up the bottom. And then to hide where those stems have curled up, you can kind of see them. I have a couple of these little leaf picks. They're perfect to just conceal that little gap and hide where I folded the stems up at the bottom. Now, while I could stop here and just leave it, let's just crowd it up a little bit more. I'm gonna move the lamp over slightly, move that over, and then I have a little pedestal that I'm gonna place right there. And look at this adorable little mini soup tureen. How cute is that? I'm going to place that right on top. Now I could just not have the pedestal, but for me visually, I don't like how it's going down a little too far, up, down. But by having the pedestal and elevating it just a little bit, I think it's better visually. And then I'll just repeat the process on the other side. And I think that's it for the buffet. Now I can do the cabinets. These are also from IKEA. Love them, super budget friendly. If you don't have an IKEA nearby, I've linked one that's similar down below. Only thing I don't care for about it is the backing has the line that runs down the middle just from how it was folded for delivery purposes. But once you start adding accessories in, you really don't notice it. Starting at the top, I'm going to add one of these woven baskets that I've added just a little bit of false steps to, just to complement what I have going on the buffet without overwhelming it. Next shelf, I'm going to add a couple of plates. They're going to serve as a riser for this beautiful fall picture. I love the scene on it with the barn and the pumpkins. It's got the brighter orange and then the more muted orange, that rusty brown that I love. And then just some good old glass goblets. Working our way down. Because I have soup tureens on the buffet, I thought it would be fun to add one to each cabinet. I found this one in South Carolina when we lived there several years ago. Place that there with the ladle right in front. And then because I am OCD, symmetry obsessed, I have plates here that match the ones I added up there. And then 2 bowls that also they match the pitcher. I love the pumpkin there. And then you have the gourd and that shadowed pumpkin that I'll angle, let's see, like that. And then on the bottom shelf, I'm going to add a very simple tray. Let's bring in some color. This napkin that, once again, we're going to ignore the wrinkles. And then a little pitcher. But because it has the caning around it, it ties in with the woven basket on the top shelf. Kind of pulls that together. And then I have these little glasses. I may end up going back and adding a little bit, like a fall stem or two. We'll see. Now I'm just repeating the process over on this side. Let's do something with this table. I'm not going to create a tablescape. I'll save that for the dining room. I just want something very casual, maybe whimsical. I'm going to start with this throw. Used to be a lot larger, but I cut it in half last year because I needed 2. And I don't want to stretch it out like a runner. Just want to toss it right in the middle, and this will be my focal point. Now I'm going to add some books. They're going to serve as a riser for this urn that I had on hand. And then I had 4 of these left over from the family room, so I'm going to plop them right down in there. Instant fall. And this is where I want to add the whimsy. I have this little basket. It reminds me of one that you get when you go apple picking. Now I could leave it like that, but instead I'm gonna turn it on its side and just have the pumpkins spilling out of it. I know I need to mess with it some, but you get the idea. I also have a bag of leaves. I've had this for years. I actually just add to it every year, but I thought I would toss some leaves in as well. I did this on our entry table several years ago. Just thought it would be fun to repeat it. And I'm adding some green since the pictures in the cabinets have the green leaves in them as well. So I'm just gonna scatter them. Again, I know I'll mess with this off camera, but hopefully you get the idea of where I'm going with this. And then a couple of candles, my favorite battery operated candles. And then I have another pumpkin to match one of those. And a few more leaves. I also have some fairy lights, and once I find those, I'll add that as well. Now I could leave the spindleback chairs empty, but that would be boring. So how about we just crowd the chairs up with a couple of pillows. Although I want to show you this one. Isn't that cute? I love all the different colors. I've had these for a few years. I believe I found them at HomeGoods. And of course I can't leave the bench empty, so I'm gonna add one pop of color. I had to borrow this from the family room until I can go to Target and get another one. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'll be back next week to add lots of fall decor to the kitchen. I hope you'll join me then, and I also hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel.